And we are all ready to go with that bonus run of Resident Evil Demake. Take it away, Dr. Maxtermind.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Hello, Midwest Speedfest. My name is Dr. Max. I'd like to give special shout outs before I get started with the run today to all the previous runners that have done a absolutely amazing job and crushed it. All the viewers and donators as well. I think we're already at 6218 as far as I can see on the stream side of things. And I think we can easily, it's a pretty short run, but if at all possible, we should try to bump that up to like 63, 63, 64. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this show underway. I got chat up on the side so I can see you guys as well. But welcome everyone. This is Resident Evil Demake. Resident Evil Demake is a game that was created on RPG Maker by a creator named Goddess X, who made this game in the style of SNES. So if you like Resident Evil 1 OG, you will love Resident Evil Demake because a lot of the stuff is exactly the same. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. In 3, 2, 1, go. So I play on controller because I actually have a physical disability that doesn't allow me to play as well on keyboard and mouse. So Able Gamers is a super awesome charity and really close to my heart for that exact reason. Oh yeah, I said SNES. I meant NES. I'm so sorry. And so one of the things that I will be doing in the run is I'll be using my left hand to text skip on the keyboard, because it's pretty easy for me to reach my left hand there, but I'll be doing most of my motion and everything else on controller. So this will be a lot of fun. So basically this entire beginning is Mansion 1. The Stars team got lost because their helicopter and they were searching for the other team, and now they have found what a mansion. And so this first part is really just Jill trying to scope out the place, and we find what is potentially Chris's blood. Barry's going to inform us of that later. So so this is but basically this is like your general like tile mover game. We're going to be moving Jill all around with the characters, finding a lot of the items in the same way. So if any of y'all have played the spiritual predecessor to Resident Evil, which is Sweet Home, you'll notice a lot of the reused assets from Sweet Home is actually in this game. So another thing that I wanted to say beforehand but didn't get the chance to do to give to the organizers is this game is actually free to play. It is absolutely free. I have a link to it that I can give to the creators or to the organizers if they want to post it at any point in time. But if anyone wants it, this, as I said, this is absolutely free to play, and it works straight out of the box, so which is always good. Also to my good friend Musical, if you ever have any donations that come in, feel free to absolutely interrupt me because I always want to give that priority to the charity whenever possible. So, alright, so we're running through this hallway here. You'll notice that I get purposely bitten by the two dogs. One thing that I noticed doing a lot of testing on this game is that the enemy damage that they do is completely RNG based within a certain range. So, as I was telling my chat earlier, the closest I've gotten for those dogs in terms of low health is 67 through that hallway, and at the highest health I've been 87. So far so good. 81, we'll take that. And we'll keep moving here. Alright, so we're going to be moving on over here to the dining room again, because we have to push the statue to get the blue jewel, for those that are familiar. Also, for those that are familiar with the original game on PlayStation, the idea of this game is that it's basically the same route as Jill 100. So that means we are finding all of the Mo discs, we are saving Chris Redfield, and we are getting the heck out of Dodge. Alright, so as we move on through here, we're going to go ahead and put the chemical that we picked up in the save room in here. And we're going to go ahead and kill that plant and grab the key. Alright. A lot of the zombie animations and a lot of the zombie attacks are definitely tile-based in terms of how far you are away from them. So you have to be on the lookout for whether or not you're within a zombie's hit range. And now we just sour, please. It's always Mo discs, Mo problems, because you always have to save Chris. And for those of you that know or don't know, Chris has the hitbox of a Kenmore refrigerator. So this game right now doesn't have a Chris mode at the moment. It's just mainly just Jill. And as I said, it's the Hundo route. So I don't know if there's going to be any more updates to the game overall. I'm sure there will be at some point, because I'd love to see a Chris mode. And also, as the category states, this is knife only, or at least knife only until I can't use the knife anymore. Which is, I have to kill the final boss with the rocket launcher, because that's the only trigger that works for the final boss. But besides that, the run will be knife only. So we'll fight all the other bosses with knife as well. And the reason why we do that is the knife is extremely overpowered. Not as overpowered as like the Code Veronica knife, but it will stun lock enemies and it will keep you from taking damage. Also, it puts a really cool kind of glitch that we just discovered 2 days ago by memeing, because that's what Resident Evil is a bunch of memes. But Mo disc though. You know, there's nothing better than carrying around 3 floppy disks in your backpack. Or your pouch, or the fanny pack, whatever Jill has on her at the time. Okay. So we're gonna make our way back to Richard. He was the guy that was laying on the floor earlier. He unfortunately got bitten by a giant snake. Ouch. And now it was poisonous, so. Alright. Yo, no problem. Thank you guys for being here, watching and donating and everything else and keeping me company. I appreciate it. Alright, so here's our first boss. This is Yawn 1. That's strange. It seems someone replaced my music with the Benny Hill music. Oh, I don't know how that could have happened. Well, nonetheless, that was Yawn 1. Easy dodge, easy life, easy clap. Alright, so now basically this is the gauntlet of the Crest Gauntlet. So it's not Colgate, it's not any other brand of toothpaste, but we're on the Crest Gauntlet. And we're trying to find 4 crests so we can get into the guardhouse. By the way, just in case you guys were wondering, I replaced the music, okay? So, I did it in advance because a friend of mine named Desert Eagle 417 actually did a Jill run on, I can't remember exactly what system it was, but he also replaced the music with Benny Hill for Plant 42. And unfortunately in this game, if you replace the music for one boss, it replaces it for every boss. So we're going to get the chance to hear that again. Alright, so we get to see our cute little sprites of the crows up in the top. Okay. Alright, cool, we did it. So that hallway is insanely narrow, and as we saw in the first hallway, the dogs' RNG in terms of their damage is huge. So they have the ability, since it's a tile game, to get you stuck. And so the fact that we managed to like sneak by is fantastic for not only us in terms of the run, but also just like our sanity. Because I died in practice. And I'd rather not do that again. What the heck? Speaking of almost dying, because Jill did not want to turn the correct direction, it's fine. That was not intended. Do we have a counter for that's never happened to me before moments? Alright, we're gonna have to use my first aid spray super early because these dogs are gonna bite me twice. Yeah, I figured as much. And just in case, we're gonna grab this on the way. Because we're gonna need the health for Plant 42 that's coming up in the guardhouse, because now we're on the lookout for more keys to get back into the mansion itself. So in the original game, this room is very dangerous. It's called the Twins Room with Mary Kate and Ashley. Because those twins will stun lock you to death. Also, you'll notice on that, there's a little vine that comes out of the floor. And you saw me pull out my knife a couple times. The reason why I did that is because it was a skip that was discovered by another RE runner named Clicks Gaming, that if you spam your knife while running across that hole, the vine doesn't actually pop out. Oops. So I'm just box pushing now as well if you want to do any announcements or anything.
So I can probably mention some of our upcoming bid incentives we've got going on.
Sweet.
We do have our bonus run of Breath of the Wild any percent. We have raised $20 out of $1,000, so we do have quite a ways to go for that. We also have a blindfolded run of Ring Fit Adventure. Yes, that
Nice.
Switch exercise game, blindfolded. We have $105 left to go on that incentive. We've raised 15 out of 120. We also have Undertale Drop the Stick, where we need to raise $80, so we've raised 25. And then we have Hug a Sprite from Hob, and we need to raise $50 towards that. If you type !donate in chat, or just wait for Moobot, you too can donate towards any one of those incentives.
And they all sound insanely amazing. So make sure,
They sure do.
make sure to get them donos in. We skipped it a little bit, but as you guys saw, I gave y'all a little bit of Baby Shark do Baby Shark. So that's for you, chat. All right, let's see. All right, so now we're going on to our second boss, which is actually Plant 42. There's a wide variety of ways that you can hurt Plant 42, but for us, because of the way that the knife is, it's generally faster to rhythmically tap the knife, but I died here earlier, so if I spam the knife, there's a lot of chances that his tentacles will actually go through your hitbox, and therefore you take no damage. So this is the much safer way to kill Plant 42 in the long run. Also, shoutouts to Super Metroid, because the sprite looks like Mother Brain sitting on top of a pile of moldy ramen noodles. So. Alright, so we get to talk to our good friend Wesker, who tells us to go back to Mansion 2. Or go back to Mansion, sorry. We just call it Mansion 2. We're going to find a few more items, and then we are going to investigate some other areas. Okay, I didn't get it on the way back, but that's okay. I'm telling you, whenever you hear the Benny Hill song from here on out, chat, I need to see some sour please in the chat, for sure. Or whatever your best dancing emotes are. Plant 42, do. I like the way you think. Alright, so earlier you saw me kill one dog here in the courtyard. The reason why I did that is because that dog always has to run from way deep, and he generally can never catch you, which is fantastic. So now we get introduced to our newest enemies, which are the Hunters. They have really ugly sprites, but I love them to death because they're adorable. They look like someone in a green onesie with like Wolverine claws. Alright, so we grabbed our first Doom book, and now we're headed towards our third boss fight, which is Yawn 2. Now the snake is making a comeback. Yawn 2 Electric Boogaloo. I do have an extra herb, right? Okay. They look like Battletoads. Yo. Oh, here it comes. And just like that, Yawn explodes into a giant ball of Kool-Aid. So. So Barry in his infinite wisdom is going to drop the rope. And now we're trapped down here until he goes and grabs another rope. In the original game, this is where my favorite line in the entire game comes from, since the voice acting is legendarily bad. And he's like, grab the rope! And I'm like, yes, that was amazing. Alright. So we're gonna head back down here again because we're gonna be basically on a quest not only to we're gonna be on a quest to find a battery as well as also find some of the Mo discs that we had before, or that we need to find. I mean, so we're just gonna randomly walk into somebody's kitchen and use their kitchen elevator. I'm pretty nervous about my Yawn 2 health. There is an SRT for this game that will show you basically your last available health value. And right now we're sitting at Orange Caution, which is one step above danger status. So I'll probably pick up the safety green herb outside the Yawn 2 room. Just in case I can't get a hunter manipulation trick. So now we're going to basically backtrack all the way back into... what was that? If you don't have a kitchen elevator, do you even have a kitchen? I would say that you're not even truly living. One must always have a kitchen elevator to go along with the rest of their mansion. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait, and then... Oh, hold on. No, he walked way too far. We're going to wait a second, and then he should jump over us. Okay, there we go. Whew. That was Monka S. Holy moly. Drop off those 2 keys, and we're going to head back outside. I was like, that's not what you're supposed to do. Good thing we can always reset the room. Dude, the save theme on this game is really good. The Moonlight Umbrella is really good. The lab music is really bad. Like, really bad. Like, not trumpet basement music bad, but, like, really, really bad. Alright, we're gonna try to pick up, because I know this guy can't do 36 damage, but he did do a lot of damage, so... Alright, we're good. That's the only time you really have to worry about the dog. The only reason why we don't kill that dog at the beginning with the knife is basically because if you kill both dogs, Brad calls you and then wastes a bunch of time telling you that he's not coming to pick you up for a while. He's just like, oh, hey, Jill, I can't get there for a bit. If you can just hold off and wait a second, that'd be fantastic. And Jill is like, thanks for calling, Brad. I'm not quite sure why you did that. So we've just entered the caves. We're going to talk to Barry again, and what we're going to do here after this text is we're going to hold down. Because by holding down, Barry actually gets out of your way. If you hold left or a different cardinal direction, he'll actually walk towards Jill, and his hitbox is also huge. So he will block you for days. Alright, so we're going to grab this, and then we're going to use the first aid spray. What if I want to talk to Brad? Said no one ever. No, he's not Michael Jackson bad, because that's pretty good. Alright. Let's grab that and get out. That is on Rico. Yeah. Alright. So we're going to move down here as we make our way through the caves. In the caves is actually where we have that exploit, that glitch that we found recently, actually, within the last couple of days. I was memeing around with a moderator of mine, and she asked me to try something out, and I was like, sure. And it actually ended up working, and I was shocked. Like, full PogChamp shocked. So, you know how Chris punches a boulder? Well, Jill can knife a boulder. And yes, the boulders look like meatballs. Alright, so in here we're going to go ahead and use the crank to move this statue, but we're not going to crank the wall back in. We're just going to go ahead and push it a little bit off to the side and make life a little bit easier for ourselves. I'm also really glad the glitch didn't mess up on me. I would have felt really bad if I tried it in a marathon and it just didn't work. Alright, cool. We still have a decent chunk of health. So now we're actually entering the final area of the entire game, which is labs. So labs, there's a couple different things that are pretty technical. One of them is going to be obviously the Tyrant fight at the end, picking up the other two Mo discs, of course, while we're down here, as well as the PC, the lab PC, which always gives a lot of people trouble in terms of typing out the what's going on. So we're here at Lab PC now. So we're obviously signing in as my boy John, whose password is 3 letters, which is his girlfriend's name. And 2 of the letters are the same. So obviously Umbrella's security is God tier. And now we're going to go up here to get the lab key. One of the few enemies we have to kill is this guy. He's kind of just in the way. Ada, wait!
We got time for a quick donation?
Absolutely, yes, 100%.
I've got a $17 donation here from Desert Eagle 417, who says, Black Tiger wants a hug.
No. Maybe next time, maybe next run. But yo, thanks for the donation. Yo, Black Tiger was the spider in the room that we completely just ran around her and opened the door. She never stood a chance. She is cute though. She's like one of the best sprites on the game for sure, but Deagle, thank you so much for that. I promise, next time we will, we'll hug Black Tiger. Black Tiger actually, in this game, has one of the most punishing and damaging attacks in the entire game. It can take upwards of almost 50% of your health bar. So, given that information, I didn't want to risk hugging Black Tiger for just, a split second. Alright, so we're now on final area here. Yeah, we try not. The only bosses we have to kill are Plan 42, Yawn 2, and Tyrant. So, Black Tiger never did anything to me, per se, so she survives all of the runs. Oh, the tackle, right? Yeah. So this is my favorite room in the game. I feel like it has the best art, the way that he made this room up with how it relates to OG RE1 on the PlayStation. It's like almost spot on, except there might be a couple gaps in the railings here or there that aren't there. But overall, this thing is this is an amazing room. So here's Tyrant. He's gonna go ahead and make Wesker into a tomato. He spilled his Kool-Aid. And then what we're gonna try to do here is we're gonna try to just spam the crap out of the attack button with the knife, and it's gonna cause the Tyrant to stun backwards. And by doing so, it keeps us alive, hopefully. So we're good. Tyrant's down, almost done with the run here. The only one we have left to dodge. If we actually did the Tyrant fight right, this zombie should be frozen. Okay, he is. He still bit me! What? Oh. I can't believe it! Yo, this man's was like, yo, I might be frozen, but I'ma still bite you real quick. He just reached out his hands and prayed there. So that was our second Modisc that we just opened. And now we're gonna get our third one, and then we're gonna go and save Chris. Alright, so we're rocking on in here. Chris has been sitting here the entire time, hasn't helped out one bit at all. He's been taking a nap. And after all is said and done, he runs off and leaves you by yourself. The disrespect, dude. Alright, so this zombie up here should also be frozen if the other 3 were frozen, so we're going to grab these, and we're going to go ahead and use them. Because similar to the 100% route that I was talking about before, this upcoming final area on the rooftop is actually, you have an extra boss fight if you do the 100% route. So not only do you have to fight Tyrant in the basement, in the lab, but you have to fight Tyrant on the roof as well. So this is the final fight. Doing damage to Final Tyrant on the rooftop, as far as I can tell, doesn't speed up the timer. So basically what we're just going to do is we're going to play a good old game of Olay with Final Tyrant until Brad decides to drop the rocket launcher, and then we're going to like just shoot him into oblivion. Here we go. Ready? Olay! 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 Basically, you can make him move in a square if you really wanted to. You can manipulate him to move wherever you want, because he's always going to try to jump and claw you. So we're just going to keep going. At around 207 or so, Brad should drop the rocket launcher. Or pretty close. There we go. So Tyrant immediately charges. He's going to charge again. And then we're going to try to get as close as possible, and we're going to blow him up. So time actually stops for this run when the Ari Demake credits start, not on the final shot. That's kind of interesting. So, but that's basically the game. I don't have to do anything else. That was Resident Evil Demake for everyone. Again, that was a pretty decent run overall for me. I'm pretty happy with it. We got to show off a couple... First try, dude. Didn't even die. We got to show off a couple cool glitches. We got to show off a lot of tile movement. And I had an absolute blast. I love these games. I am predominantly a survival horror speedrunner. I speedrun a lot of the Resident Evil games. The Dino Crisis, Outlast. Any of those are kind of games that I speedrun. Recently, Metal Gear, Battletoads, South Park Stick of Truth. And that's gonna be... Hold on one second. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. Time. Alright. Sweet! So now we can listen to the sour pleas of the final credits. And while they're rolling... Again, I just want to thank the organizers. Thank Musical as well for hosting. That was awesome. Had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And, of course, all the other organizers for giving me the opportunity to show off this game. Goddess X for creating the game, all of the chat, and all the donators throughout the entire marathon. And I hope you all get hyped for the rest of the marathon, because it's action-packed, and you will not be disappointed. So...